Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here, and today we aren't on Forza Horizon 4, but instead we are on the new F1 2020 game. Yes, that is correct. Codemasters was kind enough to send me a preview build to get an idea of what the game is like from someone who doesn't necessarily play the F1 game, but little do they know I do play some of Codemasters F1 series. I just don't make content on it because I'm a terrible driver and I want to have fun trying to live the life of a Formula 1 driver virtually without anyone seeing. So, for those that are already into the series would be aware that their trailer dropped a couple of months ago announcing that the game would be set for release on July the 7th, and I believe one reason I got invited to try out the game was Codemasters this year has implemented a brand new feature that's never before seen in the series, which ideally caters for new players who might be looking at getting into the Formula 1 games, but find that jump quite daunting, particularly for players who perhaps mainly play arcade races like myself. So for me, I like to do time trials simply because that mode is a lot easier. I don't have to worry about fuel management, ERS, tire wear, and all of the other crazy stuff that's involved with a race in Formula 1. And I've always been a little bit intimidated going into an actual race like the Grand Prix mode because all of those aspects need to be considered into a race. So Codemasters have now included a new feature that has been lacking in the series for many years, and that is casual mode. So what is casual mode? Well, it's basically a bunch of assists that is already locked onto your vehicle, which include traction control, ABS, an automatic gearbox, basically all of the fruits in making your first driving experience in this game a lot easier and a lot more fun. As you can see on the screen right now, I've toggled into standard mode and you can see all of these different assists that you could either turn on or off, and for someone who's perhaps brand new to the F1 series, you might see all of these options quite daunting. But if I change it over to casual, you can see many of these options disappear because they will become automatic, but we'll give you two new options. First, steering assist, and also auto reset to track. And even the gameplay settings, when we hop over and see the standard form, there's a lot of things to consider whether or not you want this to be a very difficult race or it's quite easy. However, when you move over to casual, all it gives you is the flashback options, where the rest, I assume, would be at the easiest setting possible. Alright, everything's all set. I'm on casual mode. We will be doing just 3 laps of the Australian Grand Prix set in Melbourne. So let's start the race. Alright, here we go, just sitting on the second line in third position behind my teammate Sebastian Vettel and Mercedes Valtteri Bottas. Now, launching off the line was very easy, just plant your accelerator down, and when it's lights out, all the assists will help you launch the car without spinning out, thanks to traction control, and also you don't jump off the line as well, as it will prevent you from doing that. I must mention that the new casual style is only available in offline mode, which excludes time trial mode, as you do set lap times to be featured on an online leaderboard. So how does the casual style drive? Well, to be honest, it's very easy, almost too easy, because I'm not exactly foreign to the F1 series, but I believe one of the main reasons for this is having steering assist turned on. Now, I am using the Logitech G920 steering wheel for this race, and no matter where I want to veer the car towards, particularly on a part of a track that's perhaps not the most ideal, the steering assist will always direct me back onto the dynamic racing line without me even turning the steering wheel at all. Now, with that said, however, you can still overcook corners if you are not careful, but you will need to be strongly fighting against the steering assist itself. But if you point your wheel towards the general direction of where the racing line is, all of the minor steering assists will be made and your driving will look as smooth as the race I'm currently doing right now. But the other major assist which also helps with the steering assist isn't just the traction control or the ABS, but it's the actual acceleration and braking too. Therefore, when a tight chicane or turn is coming up, if you're going a bit too hot into the corner with your accelerator at full throttle, the car will automatically start to brake in hopes for you to also begin to press the brake pedal too. And as you exit the corner, the car will assist you in accelerating out from the corner as fast as possible, hopefully giving you a clue that it's now time to stamp on the pedal again. The assist also helps you avoid hitting cars as well. As you can see, I'm getting very close to other drivers without having to take them out. I mean, I come from the Forza Horizon series, and that's a skill that we do not learn at all. But here I look like I can go wheel to wheel with the absolute best. And essentially, when you're looking at the overall picture of this mode, I'm basically learning the fundamentals of Formula 1, as in the basic driving, the tracks, somewhat of the racing etiquette as well, trying to avoid hitting other people. And it's a great foundation if you want to get started in this series. And I wish when I started playing the F1 series that this was available from the beginning, because not even the beginner settings on the standard mode was as helpful as this. And then of course, as you keep on driving in this game, you can begin to switch over from casual mode to standard, and then upping the level of difficulty. And then who knows, maybe you might become the next Tiamat Marduk, being a YouTube F1 legend. So I'm just going to show you guys just how much assist is possible when driving the Formula 1 car. You can see just on the starting line, the steering wheel is shaking already. And right now I'm not having any input on my steering wheel at all. And as I brake very slowly, the car itself, it's turning on its own. I am not moving the steering wheel at all. However, when I move a little bit faster, you can see it doesn't take the corner for you, but it will guide you along the track. And that's also another feature as well. The return onto track while going at full speed is also another great addition when it comes to the casual style gameplay. And again, going through these couple of turns here, I'm not moving the steering wheel at all. But if I go fast, you can see I just hit the wall. So it's clear that it is just guiding you through the track itself. And every time when it's just gone back onto the road, you can see it twitch a little bit. That's simply because my steering wheel is not adjusted to the actual position of where the road actually is. But yeah, that's a quick demonstration on just how much assist you are getting when you're driving around in casual mode. Now, before we wrap up this video, I'll be doing one more Grand Prix race, exactly the same as I did in the very beginning of this video. However, I will be doing it with mostly of the assist turned off, with the same AI difficulty set on 60, just to see if I can come in first place. But to be honest, I highly doubt it, as I am a terrible driver. But let's get right into the race. Alright, 3 laps of the Melbourne Grand Prix, and lights out. And my start was okay. Now remember, there is no assist. That means no traction control, no steering assist, no ABS, no dynamic racing line. I don't even have braking lines on. This is all me, as much concentration as possible. Thank goodness it's only 3 laps. And as I come to the first proper straight, I'm going side by side with Alex Albon, and a little bit of a bump there. And here I cut him off a little bit. Thank goodness there is no damage, but right now there is a little bit of clear space. Hopefully I can catch up to Bottas, but right now it's just a completely different experience with no assist whatsoever, and changing gears manually too. I have to visually see where the braking points are, and also think about not pressing the brake pedal too hard so I don't lock up the brakes. And then coming out from the corner, I have to be pressing the accelerator very lightly so I'm not going to be spinning out, and spatially aware of all the other cars on the track as well. It's so much more difficult than having the casual setting. But of course, that's the good thing about the casual setting, is that you can learn all these things very easily, step by step, and then you can try to move over to almost having no assist at all. Now, what you see is not exactly the best driving. I'm not that good, but I'm doing my absolute best. I'm trying to see if I can match the same place as I did in my first race with all of the assist turned on, and that is to come in first place. So right now we're onto the second lap, and I'm feeling a little bit more confident. I'm feeling a little bit better about myself, and you know, using what I learned in my first race, I feel like I can get a little bit closer to some of these cars now because I'm more spatially aware. But also, I've got to be very careful that I don't bottle the car or spin out, do a Sebastian Vettel, which I don't know, because there's so much pressure. But luckily for myself, I find following cars a lot easier because I can use them or gauge as to when to brake. Whereas if I'm out on my own with nobody really in front of me, I kind of lose focus, lose where I should be taking corners because there's nothing to really guide me. And as you can see right now, it's actually happening. I'm losing Hamilton, which slowly means that this race is gonna truly be me trying to navigate myself through the track as fast as possible. So coming onto the third lap, I lose a little bit more time with Hamilton and Vettel, and despite my fuel mix being put on rich, the car's a little bit faster, which means I've got to change my braking point, and you know, it's put me off balance, and then this happens. I bottled it. I absolutely bottled the car on the final lap, and this is only a 3-lap race. So of course, with that mistake, I am unfortunately unable to beat my first race, which I came in first place. And it shows that Codemasters is trying to broaden up their audience with this game while maintaining their core audience, which of course they already have for years. And it just makes players like myself, who mainly play arcade races, feel a lot more welcome into a motorsport game like F1 2020. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video and found this video extremely helpful. But what do you guys think? Do you think this casual mode is something that is helpful, particularly for beginners? And are you somebody that's kind of looking into the F1 game and then thinking, oh, I don't know, it might be a bit intimidating, but seeing this now may potentially change your mind? Make sure to write it down in the comment section below. I do read your comments, guys. And also, if you guys would like to see more F1 2020 content and other racing games like Forza Horizon 4, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.